Hello and welcome to Lander Tigers Soccer. You're joining us live at Powell in Panthers Stadium today. First away game for the Lady Tigers. Very excited to be here. I'm Rusty Wirtz with WyoToday.com. You know, it is a gorgeous day out here in Powell. When I first looked up the weather, it said it would be raining. Then I realized there's a Powell, Canada. So that started. It's actually going to be 53 and sunny. Just a slight breeze today. Powell has a really nice and open stadium, so you can see the mountains in the far view there. The Lady Tigers are actually 2-1 overall and considered 2-0 in the 3A West. The last time we saw the Lady Tigers was actually before spring break, so that was when they faced off against Mountain View, and they won 4-0. Today, it's a match against Powell, the Lady Panthers, who are 0-4 in the season, and we're actually going to get ready for the national anthem. So we're going to take a break here on WyoToday.com. We'll be right back with today's match.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more, is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention. We're back here at Panthers Stadium, and we just got through with the national anthem. Very nicely sung by one of the Lady Panthers. So congratulations to them. We're gearing up for our starting lineups. We'll start today with the Lady Tigers since they are the visiting team. Number 1, a junior, Seneca Kale, playing keeper today. Haley Lytle up next. Probably should have told them how to pronounce that one. Emmy Copeland up next. Mia Copeland, number 17, a junior for the Lady Tigers. Demi Stauffenberg, number 10, a junior for the Lady Tigers. Coming in at number 15, a junior, Whitney Hansen. Up next, Annabelle Knockhazel, number 13. Number 12, Mason Morton, a freshman for the Lady Tigers. Number 25, a sophomore for the Lady Tigers, Delaney Sullivan. And Emma Getz, number 26, a junior this year for the Lady Tigers. We're on Wi-Fi. We went on the Wi-Fi. No, it's not. Sorry, folks there. We're discussing with the Ethernet folks on our connection today. We want to thank all of the staff here at Powell High School for helping us get started today. We're coming in with our starting lineups for the Lady Panthers. We have number 1 playing keeper today, Maddie Larson. Number 2, Sydney Karst, a senior this year. Number 5, coming in at a senior, Maddie Fields. Number 6, a junior for Powell High School, Cambry Cannon. Number 7, a junior this year, Sarah Hampton. Number 13, Fahey Johnson. Number 14, Bailey Moore. Number 16, Madeline Hedges. Jaden Hampton coming in at number 17, and Jordan Dearcorn at number 18. We're gearing up for this match today in beautiful Powell, Wyoming, about 53 degrees. You know, I have to be honest, it kind of feels surreal to have sports back after COVID and the pandemic, so grateful to be here covering the Lady Tigers on their match on the road. Everyone's getting situated. The ref tying his shoe real quick. Definitely have to be on your toes as a ref. The ref will blow the whistle, and the match begins here at Panther Stadium. Some passes dropped back, quickly taken over by Getz, heading into that 16-yard line. Powell's quick to take it back out with a boot almost to the 50-yard line. Throwing coming back with Morton. She'll give it a toss. Looks like trying to make it to Getz. It'll be taken back by the Panthers. Quick to narrow down the angles was the keeper for the Lady Panthers. That's Larson. Quickly making her way back down the field was Maddie Fields of the Powell Panthers, excuse me. Lander making sure to be quick to get that recovery. Change of direction there by Mia Copeland, one of the 2 Copeland sisters. You'll always find them on the wing, normally in the rear, but today it looks like they're taking a more offensive option. That's a drop back to Cannon of Powell. Some Lander folks made the trip over. Glad to see some representing. I actually see a shirt that I used to wear in high school over there, so definitely some alumni. And if you're following us on the road here on YO Today, we are going to be at every match this year for the Lady Tigers and for your Boys Tigers team as well. A nice slip through the center circle by Knockhazel. Going to make it downfield. Picked up by Larson. She'll take it to the center. Chested there by Mia Copeland. Sullivan will follow it out. Heading back to the sideline with a throw-in. Powell gets it over to Cannon. Lots of play staying in the center of the field. Kale on the Landers keeper side has yet to see some action back in the goal, or in front of the goal, mind you. Coming in at the corner. Mia Copeland will bring in that corner kick. It's opportunity time for the Lady Tigers. A swing and a miss there by Hazel, trying to reach it. Barely went over her leg. And back out of bounds. Goal kick coming in from Grace Trotter. To the center circle. Swipe attempted. That time by Hansen. One thing that Hansen does very successfully is trying to sneak that ball away in center field. Hampton of Powell. Trying to play keep away, drops back to Karst. Karst will roll, and whistles will blow. That's going to be Powell ball. Free kick will come from just outside of the center circle. Swapped by Hazel. Over to Sullivan, who can be deadly as she swipes past two defenders for Powell. Near the 20-yard line. She'll pass that right and lose it. Lady Panthers snuck that away from Hansen. It's definitely a beautiful day here to play sports. About 53 degrees. Not much of a breeze. The flag is blowing, but you're not seeing a bunch of it on the field. Tigers today traveled about a little under 3 hours to get here to the Powell Stadium today. Sullivan with a kick over to the wing. Guess will drop back. Hazel with a swing and a miss. That was a hefty kick. And a shot in for the Lander Tigers. That's a way to start a ball game. That pass looked like it went in off of Hansen. Powell will start play from the center circle, dropping it back. That was to Fields. The kick was headed by Mia Copeland in the wing. It's a pass that went through the legs of Hazel. She'll get it back, thanks to the help of Mia Copeland. Pass over to Getz. Trying to keep control. Keeper almost got caught sleeping as that rolled past the 16. Wasn't sure whether or not she should come out to narrow those angles down or not. Corner kick going to be brought in by Mia Copeland. Catching her breath as she's walking back. Kicks in. Finds the feet of Hansen. It'll get bounced around. Hazel with another big kick that'll go up after it's deflected by Powell. A sliding kick that takes her down. That's Karst of the Lady Panthers. Mia Copeland finding another vacation in the center, in the corner. Morton taking it to Getz. Getz back to Hansen. Getz to Hansen and kicked in. A score for Hansen for the Lady Tigers. good when you can see that teamwork coming through. Because normally we see the leading scorers for Lander coming up as Sullivan and Getz. So far we have Morton and Hansen with the first 2 goals. 31 minutes left in this half of play. I want to invite you to join us for the halftime show. We'll recap that first half of play, talk a little bit about it, and also inform you on upcoming play dates. That makes it sound like 2 kids having fun. Dates of play is probably the better way to put that one. A toss in, coming in from Asher of the Lady Panthers. Knockhazel quick to get to the ball, over to Hansen. Back to Knockhazel. Nice round of keep away. Nielsen over to Copeland. This time it's Abby Copeland. A boot up and over the net from the Lady Tigers. Off the foot of Hansen. Goal kick by the Lady Panthers. Not getting too far, stopping at about the 30-yard line. Sullivan trying to make it over to Hansen. Deflected off the Panthers. Brought back in by Hampton. Sullivan, quick to get control of the ball back in the wing. Kicked over to Getz. Getz will aim, not quite reining it in, kicking it past that goal line. Looks like the ref's checking out one of the players. We won't speculate, but they'll check it on and make sure she's okay. Looks like they're going to have a substitution coming in for the Lady Panthers. We're going to see Abby Bradley. She'll be put in place of Peyton Asher. Taking on that keeper kick will be Karst of the Lady Panthers. Hampton chasing out of bounds for the Panthers. Morton grabbing the ball off the track there and bringing it back to the sideline. Powell ball. The Lady Tigers had a successful game against Mountain View right before spring break. Getting back into the swing of things right after they get back. We'll have a game tomorrow in Lander as well, playing against Cody. So it'll be a home game if you'd like to come check it out. Powell's getting ready for some subs here. We're going to have Kenzie Fields coming in, number 12, and number 19, Aubrey Fisher. They'll replace Jaden Hampton and Aubrey Fisher. I was joking earlier today as I was reading some of the rosters and checking out names, and it seems like I haven't called a game yet that didn't have at least one set of siblings. Nice shot on goal by Sullivan, but quick to get her hands on it is Larson of Powell. A precise boot, trying to make it into the center circle. Looked like she was trying to meet Aubrey Fisher. was trying to find an out. Away from the feet of Hampton of Powell. Couldn't quite find it. Ball will go out of bounds. Bringing in that throw-in, Abby Copeland. Mrs. Nielsen gets that pass and into the wing. Gets in the corner. Trying to find a way to meet, looks like Hansen. And Powell will take control. Trying to get down the sideline. Powell is rejected there by Abby Copeland, who gets it back to Lander. Over to Knockhazel. Instead meets Sullivan. Sullivan going inside the 18, making it to the 6. Not quite. She's met by 3 members of the Powell Lady defense. Hansen there over to Mia Copeland. That'll go past that goal line. Means we have a goal kick coming our way. We have yet to see Maddie Larson, the keeper of Powell, take a goal kick out herself. Certainly doing a good job at keeping the hand on the ball, however. Current score is Lander 2, the Powell Panthers 0. As we get started here, Allie Atnip just checked in. Hansen trying to get a chip between, it looks like Cannon and Hampton. Sullivan with a shot on goal, instead caught there by Larson. If it's low, she's really good at getting a hand on it. Larson will bring it out herself. Hit in the center of the circle on the field. Lytle will take it over to Copeland. Abby down the flank. Tried to make her way to Atnip. Couldn't quite keep that in possession. We're in the first half of this contest, about 25 minutes left to go. Lander passing through their formation. It's a good way to play keep away in the center of the field. That middle third seeing more action than any other part today. A slow shot on goal there, monitored by Larson. Just kind of giving it a side move. Coming in for the Powell Lady Panthers is number 4, Tacey Walker. She will replace Paige Johnson. Goal kick out by Moore. Off the foot of Getz, trying to change the direction. Ends up near Knockhazel. Knockhazel keeping the intensity. Refs will blow a whistle. Looks like the foul was on Knockhazel. Taking that free kick today, Karst. She'll line it up, taking her time to figure out where she wants to go. Meets the foot of Mia Copeland. Ball out on Lander. Powell trying to drop it back. Almost taken away by Sullivan there. But back in the hands of the Panthers. Taking it downfield is Hampton. That meets Copeland. She'll give it a boot. Goes high in the air to center circle. Sullivan with the ball over to Getz. She'll have it bopped between the legs. by the Powell Lady Panthers. There with the nice move, Karst. We've seen some intense play, but no full-on tackles yet. Hansen looking to weave. Instead, meets a full body collision there up against Kenzie Fields, number 12 of Powell. Powell's had a lot of substitutions in this game. So far, my count's at 6 or 7. Atnip trying to take control at the sideline. Instead, they'll get tangled up in each other. Ball brought back in by Lander. Be kicked out again by the Lady Panthers. Taking a look, we're about 21 minutes left in this first half of play. Then we'll have our halftime show. I encourage you to stay tuned for that. We'll go through the schedule that's coming up for the Lady Tigers. A nice shot on goal there. Hansen bringing it in with the third score for the Lady Tigers. It's a nice shot that bounced off of the goalpost. Whew. It's definitely a good groove to get into. You can see Sullivan giving Montero a double thumbs up there. I'm going to go ahead and guess that was something that they were told to work on. Drop back pass there by Kenzie Fields. Powell trying to make it past the 50-yard line. Lander will bring it back to Getz. Hazel to the flank. Tries to shoot it through to Sullivan. Sullivan couldn't quite grab the ball, metaphorically speaking. Looks like it might have touched Powell before it came out. A quick pass in with Hazel. Almost looks like she was aiming for more of Powell. It'll go back out on Powell again. Toss in by Sullivan. Meets up with Hansen. Hansen to the center to Getz. Getz with a chip, and that'll go past the goal line, which means a goal kick. Substitution for Powell. Coming in is number 13, Paige Johnson. Johnson will get subbed in and go straight to that goal kick. Looks like a little bit of an unexpected kick on her part. That or she was trying to make it to the flank so they could sneak it down past the Lander offensive players. Hansen over to Morton there. Morton will kick it. Trying to reach, it looks like Atnip, past that goal line. Funny enough, most of the time when a ball goes out of bounds in the Lander Stadium, which is where we've played so far, it's stopped by snowbanks. No snow, at least on the ground in Powell. You can see some beautiful snow on the mountains, however. Nice day, about 53 degrees. So far in this contest, Lander has managed to get 3 scores between the net. It was a race. Looks like that'll be an out on Powell, being brought back in by Mia Copeland. Copeland with a pass that looks like it was meant to meet Powell's Karst. Copeland, back to the sideline, tosses it into Nielsen. She'll kick it, rolls past the 18-yard line, snatched up by the keeper for Powell, Larson. running boot by Larson. Met up in the middle there by Morton. Following it out of bounds is Abby Copeland. It's brought back to midfield. Meets Sullivan. A chip there by Bradley. Excitement fills the crowd. Oh man, Kale got tripped up alongside Powell's Fields, which naturally left that goal open and zero angles for them to get around, at least offensively for the Powell Lady Panthers. All is well for the Lady Tigers. Goal kick coming out by Mia Copeland. She had a lob looking like it was trying to meet Nielsen on the left side of the field. Not quite there, though. Rolls out of bounds. Powell ball. Coming in for Powell. Hampton. And also it looks like Moore. It's a race in the flanks. Mia Copeland will follow that one out. You know, actually, I met with one of the family members of the sisters today. And he said he also watches the broadcast. So if you're a family member of a player or know of someone else watching, make sure you share. And also keep tuned in. I'm going to have fun covering these Lady Tigers this year. So far, let's see. So we had Mountain View and Lyman, where they took wins. They fell in the first contest to Jackson, however. It was a tough game. Jackson has crazy offense. Lady Tigers will face off against Cody tomorrow. Atnip with a kick over to the flank. That'll roll out of bounds past Sullivan. Powell ball brought in. That was by Hedges of the Lady Panthers. Minutes left to go in this first half of play. This Wild Today broadcast live from Panther Stadium in Powell. Ironically placed on Panther Drive, by the way. Racing inside the 18. Sullivan with a kick. A little too much power. Goes up and over and instead hits the field goal post. The football one, that is. That's bonus points, but not quite on the scoreboard. Interestingly enough, the Lander Lady Tigers, they don't change their starting lineups. Or haven't yet, I should say. It seems like what they do is each time they try to get different lead scorers is kind of what I've noticed. Off the goalpost. Nice kick, though. That coming across by, it looks like, Morton. She gives it an aw shucks. So, coming in for the Lady Tigers, we have Norse, Layla Norse. Head now is Allie Atnip. Norse plays as an offensive forward. Hansen inside the 18. Goes to kick. A foot deflection there by Larson. Girls will head it around as it rolls out of bounds. That'll result in a goal kick for the Lady Panthers. Wind's starting to pick up. Ponytails are swaying. Which, believe it or not, actually helps to see the numbers a little bit. Nielsen over to Sullivan. Sullivan with a shot on goal. A nice solid catch, though, by Larson. Rather than rushing forward to narrow the angles. It looks like she planted herself because she knew exactly where that was headed. Kick by Karst trying to get past the Lady Tigers offense. Not quite getting there. Over to Nielsen from Knockhazel. Whistles will blow. Believe that was an offsides. In fact, they're telling him to move it back a little farther. There we go. So it looks like the offsides took place at about the 10-yard line. You don't traditionally use yard lines when you call soccer, but since they're there, I'll take it. Morton trying to dribble around the Lady Panthers. Over to Norse. Norse can't quite keep up with the Lady Panthers. Ball out on the Lady Tigers. Hansen followed it out. Toss came in from Fields, deflected quickly by Knockhazel. Brought back in by Nielsen. Sullivan weaving through three of the defensive players for Powell. A nice defensive play there by Powell's Walker. Walker kicked it between the legs of Sullivan, went off of Sullivan, then out of bounds. It's good when you want to get a throw in. Moore checking in for the Lady Panthers. Nielsen trying to get that ball right away from the Lady Panthers. Knockhazel with a lateral pass over to Norse. Norse trying to get to Sullivan. Instead gets swiped away by Powell's Fisher. Sullivan keeping up the high energy. A nice side kick there by Norse, getting it back to Sullivan. She tries to squeak it past the keeper. Not quite. There were two girls between her and the keeper, and she was able to make it to number 3 at least. Larson will give it the boot. Landed just outside the center circle there. Hansen with the pressure. Looks like that went out on number 5 of Powell. That's Fields. Toss in by Mia Copeland. Trying to make it to Nielsen. Couldn't quite get there. Having the block on her was Moore. Knockhazel will try again. A throw that makes it deep almost to Sullivan, who gets a bit of a shoulder there. That play will result in a corner kick for Mia Copeland. I'm getting better about the sisters. I'm getting better. A nice throw in. What? Oh my god. Okay. I have to take a second here. I believe that was just a toss in by Mia Copeland that resulted in a goal. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I'd see that, but here we are. So now, with 9 minutes and 38 seconds to go, Lander Tigers 4 and the Powell Panthers sitting at 0. I can add that to my list of things that I didn't think I'd see. Fields losing control to Lady Tigers. Hansen with a dribble over to Morton. Over to Sullivan. Norse in the flank, drops back. Sullivan with a weave and a shot on goal, then caught by Larson. our scoreboard's a smidge dark in the bottom corner. It's really bright over there on the scoreboard. But right now we have about 8 minutes and 36 seconds to go in this first half of play. Current score, Lander Lady Tigers 4 and the Powell Panthers at 0. Almost swiping the ball away is Sullivan. Sullivan over to Nielsen. Nielsen will try to take it between the legs of Powell's Hampton. They both ended up going down on that one. Sullivan over to Nielsen. Nielsen getting in close to the 6. She'll take the shot deflected instead off of Walker. Walker with a swipe from Sullivan. Sullivan hanging back for a second. Morton helped get that over to Norris. Pace of game moving a lot slower at the moment. Subbing in for the Lady Panthers, we'll see Cambry Cannon coming back to the field. She'll be a substitute for Maddie Fields, number 5. Looks like she was trying to throw it in at the wrong sideline. For this soccer match, those yellow sidelines, you might be able to see on camera, barely. Those are the ones that we're paying our attentions to. A hefty kick by the Lady Tigers will send that out past the goal line, which means a keeper kick. That'll be surrendered over to Bailey Moore of the Lady Panthers. O'Connor of the Tigers trying to make it past Walker. Couldn't quite swipe it away. Lytle did a nice job of changing the pace and the direction of the ball. Lytle going in for a swipe. Teaming up alongside Knockhazel. Gets with a nice weave. Making it past Walker. Over to Nielsen. She'll make a shot with her left foot. Couldn't quite rein it in between the goalposts. Keeper kick surrendered to Moore of the Lady Panthers. Moore with a kick that tried to make it over to Hampton. Not quite there. Larson's kick to center field, taken on by Norse and Knockhazel. Norse trying to make a play. Ball out on Lander. Toss back in. Looks like it might have gone back out of bounds, but looks like I missaw that. After a lob, the ball bounces back to Nielsen. Swiped away by Powell. Moore trying to make a play there. Knockhazel keeps the ball in bounds. Abby Copeland. That's over to O'Connor. She'll do a chip. Couldn't quite make it back to Knockhazel though. Fields trying to get a block as the toss in goes to Nielsen. Hampton with a boot, trips up Nielsen. Then as Hampton tries to kick it away, deflected by O'Connor. Mia Copeland picking up pace with the toss in. Over to Nielsen. That'll roll pass down to Walker. Almost swiped by Nielsen there. Looks like that'll be a call for a foul. Free kick coming in from Hampton. She'll kick that about 20 yards. Taken over by the Lady Tigers. Hanson quick to make it back to the center circle. Nielsen now on the sideline. Missed opportunity there by the Lady Panthers. There was a kind of a chipped or a lob pass from Knockhazel trying to make its way over to Getz, and it went past, I want to say 2 or 3 of the Powell players. You could hear the folks next door going, no! Moore with the toss in. They'll go back out. Atnip with a pass that made its way to Hanson. Getz, tries to make it to Norse. Meets over at Knockhazel. Knockhazel with a big throw there. She was seeking out Getz and couldn't quite get there. Hanson with a shot on goal, barely deflected there by Larson. It was one where it could have been followed up if someone was between the 6 and the goalposts. Or near the 6, I should say. Throw in there from Atnip. Goes off of Hampton and back out of bounds. A little confusion on who it went out on. Looks like Lander will take over with Atnip. A toss in there to Getz. Tries to meet Norse, give her a chance to shoot. She was met by a defender. Looks like keeping that pressure on was Bradley. A swipe from O'Connor, there by Hampton. Brought back in by Fields. Hampton making her way down the sideline. Met defensively by Stauffenberg. Good change of direction there. The horns will sound, and that has been the first half of play here at Powell Stadium. Glad you're viewing here live at yotoday.com. The current score, if I could talk to save my life, is 4-0 in favor of the Lady Tigers. We're going to join in on this timeout for a little bit, and it looks like we're going to have a 10-minute halftime show here. So we're going to recognize some of our amazing sponsors. Go support these businesses because they are supporting their friends and family in the community, which is you, and of course our players here on the field.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
Hello! The spring forecast at Hello the House calls for heavy showers of savings the first 2 full weeks of April. Starting Monday, April 5th, and lasting through Saturday, the complete inventory will be 30% off. Breaking down further on prices, Monday, April 12th, for the week, everything store-wide is 50% off. Stop in soon to soak up the savings. These spring showers dry up and blow away after April 17th. Hello the House, 370 Main in Lander is open 11 till 5:30 weekdays and 10 till 4 on Saturdays. Looking to get back in the game this year? Avoid the rush by scheduling sports physicals now with Lander Medical Clinic. Sports physicals start after May 1st and are an important part of youth wellness exams. Preventative health took a backseat to COVID this past year, and Lander Medical Clinic wants to get teens back in the door for their wellness and sports physicals. Schedule your child's wellness and sports physical exam in May, June, or July by calling 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic.
I'm Sarah Penn. Go Tigers!
I'm Dr. Forbes. Go Tigers!
I'm Nate.
And I'm Billy.
Go Tigers!
Central Wyoming College has the perfect degree to help you learn, grow, advance, and lead. The new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management and Leadership is the perfect degree to earn during a pandemic. There's 3 ways to learn: online learning, virtual learning, and in-person learning. Whether you have some credits or no credits, you can earn a bachelor's degree at CWC and have the competitive edge for employment. Go to www.cwc.edu/leadtheway.
Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's go.
Truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for 2 Tuesday through Thursdays now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
Welcome back to Powell Panthers Stadium. Hey, hope you're having a beautiful start to your day so far. I know I am, and it's because I get to watch live sports, folks. I can't believe I can't believe we're back into a full swing season after, COVID. So I'm excited to be here, excited to be covering Lander soccer. And so far, not a bad start for the Lady Tigers for their first away game of the season. Right now, the score is 4-0 in favor of the Lander Lady Tigers. And let's do a quick recap. First to get her foot on the ball was Morton. She was able to sneak that in. Kind of a side pass there into the goal. And that was, I think, it looked like 35 minutes left to go in the first half. At 31, Hansen snuck in there with the ball. She would actually have 2 scores because she would follow that up about 4 minutes later. Of course, I have to say this is my favorite score of the game so far, and how could it not be? Mia Copeland, she had a corner kick, and that went into the goal. I don't know what kind of spin got put on that soccer ball. But with 10 minutes left in that first half, there was a score from the corner by Mia Copeland. Not a bad start for the Lady Tigers, folks. It's getting a little windy here on the field. It'll be interesting to see if this affects play later on. It was about 53 degrees when we started today, and we're about to see the second half of play. I want to thank you for joining the halftime show here on the Wind River Radio Network and WyoToday.com's broadcast. It's going to be a great day for soccer, folks. Tomorrow, you will catch the Lander Lady Tigers and the Tigers at Lander's home stadium. So Bill Bush Stadium tomorrow against Cody. And that first game coming about 10 o'clock. So we'll see you there. It's going to be a nice day. So you can view in person. And if not, we'll be streaming it live right here on WyoToday.com. We're going to take another quick break and recognize some of our sponsors here on the show. We'll be back with the second half of play with Lander Lady Tigers Soccer.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more, is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School Soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
We're back with the second half of play here at WyoToday.com. You know, the clock has reset to 40 minutes. We're about to start a second half here on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Doesn't feel like Friday, it feels like a weekend, but that's because we have soccer. Gets in the middle of center circle. She'll be gearing up to start this second half of the match. They had an ideal opening to this game, boxing out the Lady Panthers 4-0 in the first 40 minutes. Looks like Powell's going to rearrange some of their defensive players. Powell running a 4-1-3 formation. 4-1-4, excuse me. Make sure there's enough people on the field here. Pass dropped back to Abby Copeland. Morton working together with her. Making it over to Getz. There's no better way to explain it than some good triangle work here by the Lady Tigers today. Nielsen kicks it back to the middle of the field to Hansen. Knockhazel fighting to keep control of the ball. Quite literally a little shouldering and shoving there, but it seemed pretty equivalent, I guess is the best way to say that. Refs will blow the whistle. I'm seeing a flag up, meaning that there was an offside motion on behalf of the Tigers. Powell will get the ball back, it looks like at the 18-yard line. Offsides is a little tricky in soccer. Gets over to Sullivan. Making a play over to the wing. Gets with a shot. Lands firmly into the hands of Larson of the Lady Panthers. She'll give that a boot, dropping into center circle. Lytle making some good plays against Hampton. Hampton will make it past her anyway. Kale jogging it out. Lytle with the lob. Landing in center circle. Back into possession of Hansen and to Knockhazel. The mids of Lander seeing a lot of action today. Out on Nielsen of the Lander Lady Tigers. A toss in there by Bradley. Nielsen over to Getz. A nice precise pass, dropping it back to Nielsen. Sullivan will have it picked off thanks to Rivas of the Powell Panthers. Looks like Paige Johnson was backing her up there. Nielsen keeping it inside the 18. Getz tries to take a shot, deflected there. Lady Panthers rocking a fairly decent home crowd today. Looks like they have about 35, 40 people. Lander also showed up, I have to say. Have some families watching on the far bleachers there. Lander making its way back into the danger zone. A little bit of a shoulder check there by Sullivan. That'll yield a call and make it Powell ball. I lied, it didn't look like that was a penalty. It looked like it actually went past the end line. Sullivan with a pass, trying to make it over to Getz. That'll be taken away by Hampton. The other Hampton, Jaden Hampton, now on the field. She was the one to make it past, it looks like Morton on that play. A little bit more in the way of collisions between the two teams. Abby Copeland with the goal kick coming out. Trying to reach Morton. A little too much power behind it. That'll go out of bounds. Bradley with the throw-in. Change of direction by Morton. Very enthusiastic Powell crowd, I have to say. That's the goal for tomorrow. I'm hoping to have a crowd mic. And a quote from the Panthers crowd, shoot to win. And that's because Powell's going to take a corner kick. This could get them within the danger zone. Brought in by Stenland. Headed by Johnson. This recent movement has been the most time that Powell spent in the defensive third of the Lady Tigers. Sullivan racing ahead of all the defenders for Powell. Their keeper ends up on the ground in a kick. It looks like that was by Getz. Score in the second half of play. The first one, that is. 33 minutes left in this half. That's Getz. Whew, I got a little bit of goosebumps on that one. It's always dangerous territory when the keeper can't get on their feet. We saw the same situation in the first half with Kale, just had a different outcome this time. Sarah Hampton will pass back. Keep in mind there are 2 Hamptons on the Powell team, in case I ever accidentally say Hampton to Hampton. Sullivan tries to drop it back to Knock Hazel. Gets out of their control. Sarah Hampton tries to take that. Lytle with a nice swipe there from Hampton. Hampton will kick it back. Makes it inside the 18, but Kale will get a hand on it. She'll take that for the kick. Current score, if you're just now joining us. I understand our scoreboard camera's a little bit dark, so I'll clarify. Right now, the Lander Lady Tigers leading by 5 against the Lady Panthers. Playing in Powell today. It's a really nice day. It's a little windy, however. Abby Copeland trying to keep it away from Hampton. That's Jaden Hampton, by the way. Knock Hazel doing a good job of keeping the ball in bounds. Kick trying to make it to Hansen. Instead, it gets a boot. I'm trying not to get tongue-tied here. It made it to Hansen and then got booted by Hampton. There we go. I swear, it's like I'm getting punked every time they give me these rosters sometimes. Like, I have to say what and then what? But I have to give it to it. Both teams keeping up high energy this game. Powell also keeping up an intense offensive game. Knock Hazel will fall after trying to swipe the ball from Karst. Karst will follow that out of bounds near the ref. He'll deem that Lander ball being brought in by Mia Copeland. She's a junior this year. Of course, her sister's on the team as well. They have 11 years of soccer experience. Mia Copeland trying to play keep away at the wing. She'll boot that out of bounds. High air ball over to Getz. She'll loop it around. She was motioning to Nielsen to get farther out. Protecting the ball as it goes out of bounds. That was Bradley of the Lady Panthers. That's a good steal there by Morton. Sullivan shooting between two. Knock Hazel over to Getz. She's in the danger zone, especially for her with a top goal. That hit in the top right-hand corner between the goalposts. A nice shot there by Emma Getz. Of course, this is with 30 minutes left to go in the game, yeah, because it's the second half. I'm playing keep away with my pen at the moment. The Lady Panthers will get this going again from the center circle. Ends up in possession of Lander with a kick from Morton. A big kick there, coming off of the foot of Fields of the Powell Lady Panthers. I also need to point this out. There are two Fields on the field as well. Sullivan will accidentally take a seat after trying to play keep away with the Lady Panthers. Hansen drops left over to Mia Copeland. Over to Sullivan at the 50. Knock Hazel will try to get it back to Sullivan. Instead is met by Moore of the Panthers and out of bounds. Throw brought back in by Knock Hazel. .28 minutes left in the last half of play here against the Lady Panthers and the Lady Tigers. Current score 6-0. Excuse me, I didn't count up my own score here. 6-0. Stick around for the post-game show here on yotoday.com. Free kick will be awarded. Emma Getz has the first two scores of this second half of play. She's now back in the danger zone with a shot touched by Larson, but instead rolls off the top of her fingers and into the goal. That's the third score for Getz in this half of play. They've opened the floodgates, folks. Checking in for Powell, we have Cannon and also Johnson. Lander taking control, back through center field. Hansen on the far side. Good deflection there by Karst of Powell. Sullivan chasing it down inside the 18. She'll weave a save there by Powell's Bradley. Larson having a tough time. She went to smother the ball and instead went a little too far left. Returning for the Powell Lady Panthers, we have Aubrey Fisher. Sarah Hampton fighting for possession in the wing. Getz will get tripped up, end up on the turf. Nice weaving by the Lady Panthers. Couldn't quite keep control, however. Sullivan fighting for possession. Saw a moment there where both of them threw up their hands like, it wasn't me! It seemed like they were both expecting a penalty call there. Powell with the goal kick. Taking it out will be Karst. Current score, 7-0 in favor of the Lady Tigers. 25 minutes left in the last half of play. Coming in for the Tigers, have several new faces here. Knock Hazel going to take a seat after getting a job well done from the coach. He's giving her a hug. I think she worked her tail off out there is what that means. Powell taking the ball down the flank into midfield. Taken on by Hansen, who will take it to Getz. Not quite enough power behind it. The pickup going to Larson. She'll lob that out. A booming kick from her going past center circle, meeting Abby Copeland. Ashlyn Cook was the name I was looking for there. We welcome her to the field as well for the Lady Tigers. Abby Copeland will take that out for the goal kick. Gets with a pass to Nielsen that'll roll out of bounds. Powell definitely keeping a hustle on it. Bradley sprinting to get the ball so she can return to play. They haven't given up on this ball game yet. Nor should they, by the way. A shot accidentally deflected by Hansen in the middle of her back. The ref trying to stay out of the way of Morton for the Lady Tigers. Nielsen drops back to Morton. Morton with a boot. Trying to meet that boot is Getz around the 10-yard line. Near the 6. A shot stopped by the hands of Larson. She almost lost that one. It had a bit of spin on it. A little hard to keep a hold of. O'Connor will keep that in play. Over to Sullivan. Sullivan will bring that ball back in. Toss almost to Getz, instead swiped away by Walker. Ball out on Powell. Fields tried to keep that in bounds. Almost late on the ball there. Cook with a good defensive move. Kicking the ball back to midfield. Morton passes to Getz. Getz in the danger zone yet again. Nielsen with a kick between the legs of the Lady Tigers Fields. Went out of bounds. Coming in for Nielsen, they'll let her take a break. Instead, we'll have Allie Atnip returning for play. Toss in by Morton. Over to Atnet, back to Morton. Getz and Sullivan working together. Sullivan will get tripped up. She raises her hands for a penalty call. And it looks like the ref will entertain that. On the sidelines, the boys' team's starting to warm up. We're about 20 minutes out, which means 20 minutes left in this ball game. This penalty kick going to be taken on after a trip was called. Of course, that was inside the penalty box. When it's just you versus the goalie, well, Hansen comes out on top. That makes the current score 8 for the Lady Tigers, 0 for the Panthers. Making fun of my camera person here for yawning. That's all right. I kept her up past her bedtime. And folks, I do want to say thank you to Leanne Sanderson for helping me with my camera work today. Fantastic job. Ball being brought back in by Powell. O'Connor trying to get it back. Instead, met with Hansen. On the sideline, Mia Copeland will have the ball to throw back in. Swipe by the Lady Panthers. That one by Karst. Doesn't get too far past the 50-yard line. A lot of play going on in the center third at the moment. Mia Copeland over to Knockhazel. Knockhazel making her way over to Getz. And Getz will pass to Sullivan. Swiped away by the Panthers' Fields. And back, making its way downfield over to the wing. In a race, the first to get there will be Mia Copeland. Substitutions heading in. For the Lady Tigers, Miller will come in for the first time this match. Getz will have a chance to take a seat. Norse has also returned to the game. In for Lady Panthers is McCrary. Mia Copeland with a kick. Looks like it was intended for O'Connor. Went a little too hard, though. We're rolling up on 17 minutes left in this half of the match. Invite you to join us for the post-game show here on WYO Today, streaming live on both Facebook and on YouTube. Fun tip, if you would like to stream more high-def video, so say if you're trying to go on a monitor or on your TV, I would head on over to the YouTube version of this. Facebook cheats us just a tiny bit. Still appreciative of everyone tuned in on both platforms. Swipe by Trotter of Powell. That'll get kicked over. Trying to meet up with Fields. The Lady Panthers not giving up on their pace yet. Don't expect them to. They're going to fight tooth and nail to the very end. Right now, the current score, 8-0 in favor of the Lady Tigers. This is the LVHS first away game of the season. It was a nice drive. For Lander, I believe it was probably about a 3-hour drive. Maybe 4? No, about 3. I was asking counsel, my map person. Norris trying to get a swipe there. Cannon ended up with the ball anyway. A lob up and over the defensive line, and then out of bounds on Karst. Kale handing the ball over to Mia Copeland. She'll take that goal kick. Sullivan off the goal kick. Over to Atnip. Will instead be swiped away. They didn't realize the ball was behind him, though, as they got caught up in each other. An opportunity for the Panthers here. Taken away by Balderston. Knock Hazel to Hansen. O'Connor with a kick over to Norse. She'll move it inside the wing, out on Powell. Norse will give the throw into O'Connor. Lander taking their time at the moment. Coming in for the Lady Panthers. Fields. This could be a good forward movement for the Panthers. Balderson meeting him in the middle. Nice kick there by Miller. Coming back into play for the Lady Tigers, Morton will swap out with Hansen. Might have had some other sneak-ins. I believe we also just had Stanberry check in for Sullivan. So the offensive players now in play for the Tigers. We have Norse and Stanberry and Atnip. Giving some good play time to some of the other varsity members on the team. Atnip with a move over to Norse. She'll pick it up in the wing. Tried to drop it back there to O'Connor, and it'll roll out of bounds. Looks like it must have gone off one of the Lady Panthers, as Mia Copeland sets up to have that throw back in. "12 minutes left in the contest. The whole contest, that is. This is the second half of play. High-scoring game for the Lady Tigers. 8-0 is the current score in favor of LVHS. The Panthers haven't been able to find success between the goalposts of the Tigers. Quick to the stop is Larson. You got to give it to her. She's been busy the entire game. Panthers have some good weaving capabilities. They just haven't been able to get quite where they need to in the offensive zone. Quick to get inside of that 18. We see Fields. I believe it might have been out on Fields as well. Miller with the toss. Possibly an out there on Stanberry. Nice movement by Norris down the middle. Atnett with possession. Making her way to the wing. Trying to meet up with Norris. Instead, swiped away by Powell. Cannon fast to get a kick on that. Mia Copeland gives it a bounce or two. From the 50. She'll toss that in, trying to meet Norris. Some substitutions coming in for Powell here in a second. They have good rotation of their players. Lytle Guerin to come back from the sideline as well for the Lady Tigers. Coming in for the Panthers, we're going to see Stenland and also Dunkerley. Looks like someone accidentally brought their practice jersey with them. Whoops. Nine minutes left in the second half of play here at Powell Panthers Stadium. I think we might have had a few more Lander fans show up as well. Of course, the crowd here at the home stadium is growing too. No doubt for the exciting game to come next. Nice change of direction there by Stenland. Trying to get it to the goal. Couldn't quite see that. Ended up landing on top of the goal for the Panthers. Lytle will be taking the goal kick. That'll roll out in front of both O'Connor and Norse. Lytle trying to make it to Norse. Picked off. Back in possession of Powell. The tossing coming from Stenland. They'll stop play. Had to squeeze in a substitution. Coming in for Fields is Trotter. You know, it's good to see a team keep up the energy, though. Sometimes if you're sitting at an 8-0 match, it's easy to let yourself kind of get stuck, I want to say. But they're still cheering on their teammates, cheering on the subs coming on and off of the field. And the home crowd's doing pretty darn good, too. Knock Hazel along the sideline. Been up with Stanberry. That'll go out. From the sideline, Stanberry over to Atnip. Swipe there from Stenland. Tossed back in by more of the Lady Panthers. Taking the ball through the center circle, Morton. She'll do a lateral kick over to O'Connor. Nice movement, trying to make its way to Norse. That change of direction from the Panthers brought on by Johnson. Lander with some of their new subs I think are getting a feel for trying to read the field. Sullivan waiting to be substituted back in for the Lady Tigers. Ball back behind Lander's 18. Kay will choose to pick that up. The kick making its way back to about the 45-yard line. Powell crowd gets excited as their team makes its way inside the penalty box. However, after a kick from Trotter, that'll go past that goal line. Goal kick for Lander. Subbing in is Sullivan, there. So we'll replace Atnip on the field. Maybe not. Who came out for Lander? I might have lost one somewhere, but point is, we have Sullivan back on the field. Looks like she might have come in for Knock Hazel. Toss in, chested by McCrary. Head on it there by O'Connor. Taken away again by Stenland. She has some great dribble going on the field. That was a booming kick from Morton. Ending up at almost the 20-yard line. A shot by Sullivan, deflected with the chest of Larson. Nice work there by the Lady Panthers keeper. The keeper will actually take the ball out to the 35-yard line. I have not seen that yet in a game. The crowd sure seemed to love it, however. A boot out of the sideline. O'Connor, Powell ball. Norris with a nice swipe there. Getting it back twice from the Lady Panthers. Sullivan with a shot on goal, deflected off the hands of Larson. Atnip in the wing. Faced off against three between her and the goal. Couldn't quite make it past four defenders. That ball will go past the goal line. Sullivan will have that corner kick in the far right corner for the Lady Tigers. Atnip with a swing, making it through for her goal of the game. Her first goal of the game, actually. She gets a pat on the back from her teammates. I have to say, they're doing a great job of kind of evening out the scores between their offensive players. So with 2 minutes left in this match of play, Atnip with the ninth score of the game. The chip from Trotter, back in the hands of Lander. O'Connor instead of passing laterally, tries to go through the defenders. Over to Atnip. Abby Copeland there stepped on the gas to get it deflected off of Powell's Moore, making it Lander ball. Stanberry with the toss over to Atnip. Lander keeping up the intensity with just 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the ball game. Abby Copeland with a nice swipe, keeping the pressure on Stenland. Copeland to roll. She gives the ref a little okay sign. Lytle with some good movement in midfield. Over to, not Stanberry, Sullivan. A kick through the legs of the ref. That was some nice hoppy movements by the referee there. I want to invite you to stick around for the post-game show. We're about 18 seconds out here in this match. We'll recap the scores from the game. We'll talk about the upcoming boys game as well as we enter the pregame show. Also, we have a schedule to look up here in a second. And that's it, folks. The end of the game is upon us. Final score, Lander Lady Tigers 9, the Lady Panthers sitting at 0. We'll be back with your post-game show in just a few minutes. For now, here are some of our sponsors of this Lander Tigers broadcast. Hello! The spring forecast at Hello the House calls for heavy showers of savings the first 2 full weeks of April. Starting Monday, April 5th and lasting through Saturday, the complete inventory will be 30% off. Breaking down further on prices, Monday, April 12th, for the week, everything store-wide is 50% off. Stop in soon to soak up the savings. These spring showers dry up and blow away after April 17th. Hello the House, 370 Main in Lander is open 11 till 5:30 weekdays and 10 till 4 on Saturdays. Looking to get back in the game this year? Avoid the rush by scheduling sports physicals now at Lander Medical Clinic. Sports physicals start after May 1st and are an important part of youth wellness exams. Preventative health took a backseat to COVID this past year, and Lander Medical Clinic wants to get teens back in the door for their wellness and sports physicals. Schedule your child's wellness and sports physical exam in May, June, or July by calling 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic.
I'm Sarah Penn. Go Tigers!
I'm Dr. Forbes. Go Tigers!
I'm Nate.
And I'm Billy.
Go Tigers!
Central Wyoming College has the perfect degree to help you learn, grow, advance, and lead. The new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management and Leadership is the perfect degree to earn during a pandemic. There's 3 ways to learn: online learning, virtual learning, and in-person learning. Whether you have some credits or no credits, you can earn a bachelor's degree at CWC and have the competitive edge for employment. Go to www.cwc.edu/leadtheway.
Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's go.
Truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for two Tuesday through Thursdays now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way
to Powell Panthers Stadium. You're here with WyoToday.com. Hey, I'm Rusty. If you're just now joining, welcome. We're in the post-game show for the girls' game. The Lander Lady Tigers, sorry, my microphone's falling down here. The Lander Lady Tigers took a win against the Powell Lady Panthers 9-0. So let's recap a little bit of the game. In the first half, Morton came on with the first score of the game. That didn't take too long, about 5 minutes into that first half. Hansen came in with 31 minutes to go. She would then get the next score of the ball game as well. About 10 minutes left in the game. One of my personal favorite scores of the game. Okay, this was cool for me. I didn't think I'd ever see this. From a corner kick, Mia Copeland. Wow. That's a crazy angle to get in on, but it was a huge momentous moment for the team. We'll go with it. All right, and then, of course, halftime came along, and they came back with just as much heat in that second half of play. So, Getz, she's the MVP of the second half, I'll say that, because at 33 minutes, 30 minutes, and then 27 minutes. So we're talking just moments from each other. Emma Getz came in. She gave Larson, the keeper for the Panthers team, a run for her money, and each time she met Larson. So the first time, Larson had fallen over at 33 minutes left, and Getz was able to sneak around her and get that shot on. And then at 27 minutes is the second time they would face off, where Getz made the shot, and it rolled barely off of Larson's fingers up and over the top and into the center of the goal. So a good movement there by Getz. And then there was a penalty kick, of course, that was inside the penalty line, so it was just Hansen versus the goalie. With 2 minutes left in the game, Atnip with her first score of the ball game. Not a bad turnout. 9-0 Lander Lady Tigers against the Powell Panthers. We're gearing up for this second contest of the day. You can see on the field we have the LVHS boys warming up, also our Panther boys as well. So we're going to get that started here on the Wind River Radio Network's live stream here on both Facebook and on YouTube on WyoToday.com.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more, is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program.
you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
Hello! The spring forecast at Hello the House calls for heavy showers of savings the first 2 full weeks of April. Starting Monday, April 5th, and lasting through Saturday, the complete inventory will be 30% off. Breaking down further on prices, Monday, April 12th, for the week, everything store-wide is 50% off. Stop in soon to soak up the savings. These spring showers dry up and blow away after April 17th. Hello the House, 370 Main in Lander is open 11 till 5:30 weekdays and 10 till 4 on Saturdays. Looking to get back in the game this year? Avoid the rush by scheduling sports physicals now at Lander Medical Clinic. Sports physicals start after May 1st and are an important part of youth wellness exams. Preventative health took a backseat to COVID this past year, and Lander Medical Clinic wants to get teens back in the door for their wellness and sports physicals. Schedule your child's wellness and sports physical exam in May, June, or July by calling 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic.
I'm Sarah Penn. Go Tigers!
I'm Dr. Forbes. Go Tigers!
I'm Nate.
And I'm Billy.
Go Tigers!
Central Wyoming College has the perfect degree to help you learn, grow, advance, and lead. The new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management and Leadership is the perfect degree to earn during a pandemic. There's 3 ways to learn: online learning, virtual learning, and in-person learning. Whether you have some credits or no credits, you can earn a bachelor's degree at CWC and have the competitive edge for employment. Go to www.cwc.edu/leadtheway.
Welcome back to Powell Panther Stadium. We have about 9 minutes until the boys contest starts, but this is one I'm looking forward to. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about standings. So far, I guess kind of a previous recap in the season. The first match of the season was a home game against Jackson. Didn't turn out so well for the Tigers. They had a loss there. However, Jackson, a tough team to compete against. And right now in the field, I'll pan a little bit here. You can see the captain's meeting here. It's a gorgeous day in Powell. Lander traveled about 3 hours today to get here. And of course, it's just nice. There's a bit of a breeze going on, so no doubt it'll get colder as the night progresses. It was 53 when we started, and it's already dropped a little, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, the second game of the season, though, for the Lander Tigers was against Lyman, which that was a pretty high-scoring game, and same with the Mountain View game as well. So as the season progresses, it'll be fun to see as they face off against some of the teams that have higher standing rates, which is what Powell is. So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit on the pregame show. That's just around the corner. Meanwhile, I'm going to drink some water and hope I don't lose my voice. We're doing it here. We're doing a thing. Excited for today's contest. I want to thank you for tuning in to yotoday.com on both Facebook and on YouTube. The boys contest just around the corner.
Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's
truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for 2 Tuesday through Thursdays now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more, is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program. And welcome back. We're hanging out here at Powell Panthers Stadium, located on Panther Way, Panther Drive. Which would we decide? Panther Drive. There we go. So, yeah, it's easy to find here in Powell, Wyoming. About a 3-hour trip for the Lander Tigers. If you're just now joining us, I'm Rusty Wirtz. The Lady Tigers match just ended. 9-0 is the final score there. So, definitely something for the contest. The Tigers sit 2-1 overall, and so in the 2A, and 2-0 in the 3A Mountain West. I'm writing myself some tongue twisters. All right, so they had a win against Mountain View before spring break, right? We saw that game, high-scoring game for the Tigers, but definitely let them, I think, explore some of their players that don't normally play as much field time, right? So now they face off against Powell. Enter Powell, Wyoming, right? So here's the thing. Powell sits 3-1, while the Tigers sit 2-1. I'm excited, okay? To say I'm excited is an understatement. I'm so excited for this match, and we'll get started with your starting lineups here in about 2 minutes. We're sitting here in a pretty nice sunny day, however, some wind. It'll be curious to see if that affects this match at all as well. The refs are getting ready, but we'll get ready as well. We're going to say hi to some of our sponsors. Make sure you go support these folks. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, and they're also the ones that are supporting our youth athletics in Fremont County.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School Soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
Hello! The spring forecast at Hello the House calls for heavy showers of savings the first 2 full weeks of April. Starting Monday, April 5th, and lasting through Saturday, the complete inventory will be 30% off. Breaking down further on prices, Monday, April 12th, for the week, everything store-wide is 50% off. Stop in soon to soak up the savings. These spring showers dry up and blow away after April 17th. Hello the House, 370 Main in Lander is open 11 till 5:30 weekdays and 10 till 4 on Saturdays. Looking to get back in the game this year? Avoid the rush by scheduling sports physicals now with Lander Medical Clinic. Sports physicals start after May 1st and are an important part of youth wellness exams. Preventative health took a backseat to COVID this past year, and Lander Medical Clinic wants to get teens back in the door for their wellness and sports physicals. Schedule your child's wellness and sports physical exam in May, June, or July by calling 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic.
I'm Sarah Penn. Go Tigers!
I'm Dr. Forbes. Go Tigers!
I'm Nate.
And I'm Billy.
Go Tigers!
Welcome back to the stadium here at Powell. Glad to be here for the matchup. It's going to be a fun game to watch and even more fun to announce. We're gearing up for the 4th game for the Lander Valley Tiger season. This would make, I believe, Game 5 for the Powell Panthers. Tigers and the Panthers make their way to the center circle. I'm unsure if we have a second national anthem quite yet, so we might take a short break.
Check.
There he goes. Okay, the announcer didn't quite have his levels all the way up.
Welcome to Panther Stadium. The game today features the Powell Panthers and the Lander Tigers. We're pleased to be hosting the Tigers and would like to extend a special welcome to the soccer team, coaches, staff, and fans. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove cover for the...
We will have a national anthem, so we're going to take a quick break here on WyoToday.com.
Central Wyoming College has the perfect degree to help you learn, grow, advance, and lead. The new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management and Leadership is the perfect degree to earn during a pandemic. There's 3 ways to learn: online learning, virtual learning, and in-person learning. Whether you have some credits or no credits, you can earn a bachelor's degree at CWC and have the competitive edge for employment. Go to www.cwc.edu/leadtheway.
Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's go.
Truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free...
And we're back here at Panthers Stadium. We're going to start with our starting lineups. We have a number 2 junior, Sam Welsh. A number 7 senior, Parker Reed for the Tigers.
Number 8 junior, Keller Donahue.
Number 8 junior, Kellen Donahue.
Number 9 senior, Gus Mosman.
Joining the field, a number 9 senior, Gus Mosman.
10 senior, Nico Lohman.
Number 10, a senior this year, Nico Loham.
Number 17 senior, McLean Hellier.
Number 17 senior, McLean Hellier.
Number 19 senior, Camden Nicole.
Number 19, a senior this year, Camden Nickel.
33 sophomore, Callum Wheeler. 34, senior. Jonas
We have number
Calvert.
33, a sophomore. Callum Wheeler had his number backwards there for a second.
Matisse Weaver.
We have Matisse Weaver, number 37.
Number 46, junior. Joe Hellier.
We also have number 26, a junior,
Dean Shaw,
Joe Hellier.
Derek Peel, and Brett Friends.
46, excuse me.
Panther soccer team.
Now time for the Powell Panthers starting lineups.
Ashton Brewer.
Number 1 is senior Ashton Brewer.
Number 3, senior.
Number
Jack
3 is
Poole.
senior Jack Poole. Number 6,
Number 6, junior.
a junior
Reese
this year,
Bauer.
Reese Bauer. Number 9,
7, sophomore, Steven
a
Stambaugh.
sophomore there. We have Jaden
Number 9,
Stambaugh.
junior. Hawkins Sweeney.
We have Hawkins Sweeney at number 9.
Number 10, freshman.
Number 10
Gunnar
freshman,
Erickson.
Gunnar Erickson.
Number 16, senior. Sam
A number
Bauer.
16 senior, Sam Bauer.
Number 22, freshman. Chance Franks.
A number 22 freshman, Chance Franks.
Senior. Landon Sessions.
23 is senior this year, Landon
24,
Sessions.
senior. Matthew Hobbs.
24 is senior this year, Matthew
32,
Hobbs.
junior. Garrett Morris.
And 32, a junior this year, Garrett Morris for your
And Wes
Panther
Vaughn.
Powell team. We're about to get ready with this match off here. My apologies.
A reminder,
I have a headset that doesn't like me today.
district building and
We'll switch that out here shortly. For now, though, we're about to watch what I hope will be an interesting soccer match, folks. At least standings-wise, it seems like these two teams are fairly evenly matched.
ladies and gentlemen, please ask that wear a mask and sit in with family. We're not letting your family, but you can't be 6 feet apart.
Statistic-wise, in this match, and actually for the season, the highest-scoring player on the Lander Tigers team so far has been Reed, followed by Welsh. Reed has 7 goals this season. I want to thank you for joining us on this live broadcast. Welsh is starting in the center circle. An energetic start from the Lander Tigers. Mosman with a maybe little too powerful kick that went out of bounds. Panthers taking control. Trying to read the field is Garrett Morris of the Panthers. Weaver, quick to make a move, weaving away from Erickson. Mosman. That's over to Loham and back. Brought back in by the Tigers. It's a race to the center circle. Donahue is the one to kick it out. Joe Hellier over to Welsh. Stopped by Weaver. Tries to do a back kick. Couldn't quite get past the defensive line of Powell. It's a race to the corner. Hellier alongside Poole of Powell. Jonas Calvert, our keeper for today. He'll do a kick over to Loham. Seeing a lot of speed this first 2 minutes of play. It looks like Callum Wheeler tried to get a foot on that ball out on Lander. Toss in there by Powell, past the end line. That'll be a goal kick. I lied. It's actually going to be out on Lander, which means corner kick for the Panthers. That'll come off the foot of Morris. We'll try to get it inside that danger zone. It's met by a head and then caught by Calvert. Reed drops back over to Donahue. He'll kick it inside the Panthers 18. Stamba of the Panthers, working along the sideline. So far in this match, we're not seeing an advantage on either side of the field. It's pretty even play so far. But that being said, we're only 4 minutes in. 36 minutes left to play. No score yet. Both goalies have kept equally busy. Some good movement there by Joe Hellier, getting the ball out of bounds. A boot from Bauer will send the ball back out of bounds and in possession of Calvert, the keeper for Lander. That goal kick going over to Loham. Loham's kick was met by a harsh head to that with Bauer. Weaver getting caught up in Erickson of Powell. Hellier with a really nice kick that was deflected by Morris's neck. Maybe it was upper chest, but it still looked pretty intense. Reed with a chip that'll go past that end line. Goal kick for Powell. Hellier will follow the ball out of bounds with a toss back in to Weaver. Weaver losing it to Morris there, and a deep boot making it about 40 yards off of the foot of Hobbs for the Panthers. McLean Hellier keeping the pressure on, then tosses back into bounds. Reed trying to be the next to get touch on the ball. I believe this is going to be a high velocity game for the Panthers and the Tigers. So far, a lot of back and forth and not too much play in the defensive third of either of these teams. Toss in by Stambaugh. That was met with McLean Hellier. Welsh over to Weaver. A nice lateral pass. Trying to make its way over to Donahue. Couldn't quite get past the defense of Powell. That ball quickly changes directions. Chasing it down is Hellier. Loham will help him out. That ball will still go out on Lander, though. Being brought back in by Erickson. Coming in with the corner kick, Morris, who has a pretty high intensity to him when he's around the ball. Back in from Bauer. Getting ahead on it was Erickson. Joe Hellier fighting in the corner, trying to take that back from Jack Poole. Joe Hellier over to Loham. Loham into Mosman. Read the field, found Reed, then tried to go over to Weaver and went out of bounds. Toss in from the touch. Over to Mosman. Out on Powell. Back now in the hands of Joe Hellier. Powell will take a tumble. Erickson getting caught up between two of the Lander offense. Since that was inside of the penalty box, we now have a penalty kick. That kick's going to come in from Morris. He's instead going to try to go for an indirect. Ball back in with McLean Hellier. Both teams keen on making sure that their opponent doesn't keep the ball in possession for too long. Interesting move there by Bauer off of the Powell team. Tried to predict a kick coming off of Weaver. Did a cool little kick move in the air there. Donahue kicking it inside the 18, Reed trying to follow up, but instead is met by getting picked up by Brewer, the keeper for Powell. He's trying to read the field, decides to go with a kick. That goal kick meeting in the center circle. Joe Hellier with a lob, which seems like the best option to gain ground in this game, seeing as how the defense of not just their actual defensive players, but even the offense, great to get a swipe away if the time's right. Looks like we might have had an offsides. See a flag drawing a line down the field. Kick ended up with Weaver at about the 50. He'll drop it back to Mosman, but instead getting a foot on of it, that was Erickson. Breaking free, we have Sweeney in the wing. He does a kick up and over, and Calvert's quick to meet it. He's going to do a rolling pass. Nickel keeping it down the sideline. They try to meet up with Reed, but they're having... At both teams, this is valid for, by the way, but they're having a problem getting past that center third. Weaver gets the ball swiped away by Poole. Hellier will take that back. Gives it to Loham, then Loham out of bounds. Reed rushes in, trying to get a swipe. Gets a deflection. The coach will want a penalty, calling hands, and the ref will agree. Lob in from Bauer. Morris over to Bauer. Also, I need to point out, I do this each game, I swear, but there's a Reese Bauer, number 6, and a Sam Bauer, number 16. So I will be throwing some first names in there at you. From the corner kick, we'll see Garrett Morris bringing that in for the Powell Panthers. About 27 minutes left in this first half of the match. No scores for either team yet. And not for lack of trying, I'll tell you what. One thing I've noticed with the corner kicks of Powell, and maybe the Lander team will do this as well. I haven't seen a corner kick from them today. However, they're putting a really good spin on it. So once it hits the ground, it'll change direction. Ooh, a little bit of a connection there in center circle. They'll stop the ball. We won't speculate here, folks, but it looks like the Powell player is getting back up. Looked like a connection to Chance Franks. Meanwhile, we invite you to join us for the halftime show. We'll recap this first half of play. That is, if there's a whole lot to recap. I'm saying that with the standings as they sit now, the Tigers are 2-1 and 2-0 in the 3A West, and then currently Powell sits at 3-1. So they've played one more game at least. Ooh, that's a little bit of a charge there on behalf of Reed, and he will be given a yellow card. Now remember, when a player does get a yellow card, they need to be subbed out for a little bit. And somewhere, I believe I read that the maximum amount of red cards, now not a yellow card, but a red card that you can have is, I believe, 7 on a team before you have to forfeit, because then you don't have enough players. A precise kick there from Morris, leaving the ball around the 30-yard line. Along the sideline, good movement there by Nickel. Excuse me, that was McLean Hellier. Now back to Nickel. Nickel with a chip into the air, drop it inside the penalty box, and caught by Brewer. That's Ashton Brewer. Also have to clarify again, we have a Brewer, and then we have a Bauer, and then another Bauer. Ball roll out of bounds. Back in with Stambaugh. And out on the flank. Lander with the toss to Mosman and loses it. Garrett Morris, I have to say, probably has the most control time over the ball in this first half of play so far, at least for the Powell Panthers. 24 minutes left in the first half of play. Score still zip to zip. But both goalies and, well, goalkeepers having plenty of action on either side of the field. Tosses in. Roten trying to get a foot on it. That shot on goal will not find its way between the goalposts, however. Out past the end line means a goal kick. Calvert, will take it himself. Over to Wheeler, and Callum tries to get that out of the wing with heavy pressure coming on from the Powell Panthers. A chip from Mosman. Met in center field. Powell playing with 3 main defenders. They like to hang about midfield. But ironically, most of the defensive pressure is coming on from some of their offensive players as well, just as in terms of swipes and tackles. Nickel along the side. Loses it on the flank to Brown. Nickel on a foot race, gets tripped up. Hellier fighting for possession of that ball. Not letting him have it, it's Roten. Nice block there by Matisse Weaver. Joe Hellier with the toss. He'll find Mosman. Loham downfield. Misses Weaver. Back in the hands of Welsh. Metaphorically, that is. Morris will follow it back to Brewer. And Brewer reading the field to see where he wants to place that ball. A booming drop kick to the other side of the center circle. Nickel couldn't quite get a touch on the ball between Franks and Bauer. Weaver with a shot on goal just left of that goalpost. I would have to say within inches. Wondering who that touched on the way out, because it's now Lander ball with a corner kick. It was a soft touch to Welsh from Mosman. Now getting dangerously close to that 6 and back out of bounds. Joe Hellier tosses to Welsh. Whistles. Think someone might have had a hand on that. And back into play by Franks of Powell. I think the ref's saying, retry that one. This time taking the kick, Morris. It's dangerous when a free kick can get behind your 18. You'll have to excuse me, I'm trying not to lose my voice today. Welsh will have it swiped away. Hellier with a race against Roten, trying to make it back to that wing. Matisse back over to Elliott. Jaden Elliott on the field. He's downfield, hoping that Donahue has the gas to make it there before Powell does. Instead, Donahue will slide. Substitutions in for Powell. We'll see Jesse Trotter, number 2, enter the field. He'll be replacing Chance Franks. Brewer with the keeper kick. He'll meet the head of Matisse Weaver. Welsh back to Weaver. Inside the 18. Heavy coverage on top of Donahue, who passes back to Weaver. A swipe there by Roten. High-paced game, hard to keep control of the ball. Looks like Garrett Morris might have gotten tripped up. They'll take a free kick. Sessions will take the boot at about 47 yards. Kicks it up and over. Powell now in the danger zone. Calvert ready for him. Penalty called. Nice crossfield kick, maybe a little too much power. It's almost interesting with these teams. You see one team will do a booming kick across the field and almost get mirrored by the opposite team. And it's no copycat necessarily, but they're seeing that it's easier to make some headway. The ball can't be stopped. Hamilton in for the Tigers. Hamilton coming in for McLean Hellier. The wind picking up. Definitely not in favor of the Tigers. It's blowing right in their face. Sure pretty to see the flag, though, on a nice, beautiful, sunny afternoon here in Powell. 17 minutes left to go in this first half. Still a no-score game. Powell's Franks will follow the ball out of bounds. He'll have the toss in. Over the head of Weaver. And then that ball will go back out of bounds before Roten can get a hand on it. Weaver backing up for a precise toss. Looked like he was trying to meet Nickel inside the penalty box. Callum Wheeler met harshly against Roten. Didn't look malicious, but you hear a oof from the crowd all of a sudden. Looks like we're trying to have a substitution. In for Roten, we have Jack Poole back on the field. Joe Hellier. Looked like he was trying to get hold on the ball. Had a little bit of a collision with Erickson. Looks like the ref wants to chat. I'm venturing a guess here, and I could very well be wrong, but I think he told him to chill out a little bit. Which, you know what happens? You get intense, and you're, especially in a high-paced game like this, you're trying to get the block in, you're trying to get tackles. Nice lob there by Jaden Elliott. That ends up back in the hands of the keeper, Brewer. Maybe it's a good thing I don't have a crowd mic today. Coming in for the Powell Panthers. Roten is back. He's feeling better after his tumble. And then also coming in, we have Franks for the Panthers. In a no-score game like this makes it the ultimate game of keep away. Still plenty of pressure to go around. Weaver tries to go between the legs of Morris. Couldn't quite find success there. A little bit of a bump from Callum Wheeler sends Sweeney down. Weaver will track down his headband. Oh, that was a little spicy there. Opportunities for the Panthers. One deflection there on behalf of Jonas Calvert. Nice footwork going on behalf of Gus Mosman. There's definitely some parents out there looking for fouls. Taking a sit is Jaden Elliott. And for him, it looks like Reed's back in the game. Welsh with a nice move that sends him toppling over. Reed racing to the wing against Morris. He'll get a foot on it, and then that ball will go out of bounds. Ooh, toss over there to Mosman. Kick from the penalty box from Powell's keeper, met by the head of Nickel. Nickel looks like he might have had a little bit of a limp. I won't speculate too much on that. Reed looking at the ref. Looks like he was trying to get a call. Loham. Couldn't quite get it over and into the goal. That'll go past the end line. Bring it back into possession of Brewer. Substitution. In for the Powell Panthers, we have Bauer. Sam Bauer, that is. Goal kick that looked like it was a little rough on the turf coming out of Brewer. But it's turf. That's what it's there for, right? Heavy coverage on all accounts, and this is on both teams, really. This is the kind of play you expect when you see a team that's 2-0 in the 3A West, and then the Powell Panthers, which are 3-1. It's not surprising that with 10 minutes and 53 seconds left in the game, there's zeros on the scoreboard. Keen play by most of the players on the field. I'd like to say almost all. You won't see them making extra movements. You know, they're very precise, I should say. Loham over to Hellier. Joe Hellier working the sideline over to Reed. Roden, a very quick player, trying to make a play past Reed. Reed with a nice swipe. Fancy footwork trying to get taken out by Morris. However, Weaver got a foot on the ball. It sent Morris to the ground. However, it looked like Wheeler might have spun the ball from out underneath Morris's foot. Goal kick is out. Welsh getting double teamed. Loses possession to Morris. Weaver was hot on the tail there to Bauer. The ball will be called out on Lander. There's going to be a corner kick coming in from Morris. A low, precise kick that was aimed for the 6 yards. However, couldn't quite meet up with his teammates as the Lander defensive players were waiting for him. Goal kick will be taken out by Loham. In the wing, we have Trotter. Calvert with a running toss. I have to say, I commend him on his hustle there. Nickel and Reed in center circle, passing back to Welsh. Trying to calm down the pace a little bit, which sometimes can be good to try to regain control. As I say that, of course, number 16, which is Sam Bauer, one of the brothers of the Powell team, makes a swipe. Reed tries to keep the ball in bounds, couldn't quite catch up with it, however. Oops. I say that. Reed was calling for Lander possession of the ball, and he accidentally whopped someone in the face. Not hard, but you can definitely tell that every player on the field is zoned in. Loham dropping back to Hellier. Hellier trying to get it past Roten of Powell. But he's one of those offensive players that also has an extremely defensive game. Trying to make swipes. He'll follow that out of bounds. Toss in from Reese Bauer. Whistles from the ref. It's a trip there. Getting in a pretzel was 6 and I say 6 because that's Reese Bauer, and then Weaver. Change of direction by Powell's Franks. Now to Sam Bauer. Back to Reese. A kick over to the wing. Goes out off of Joe Hellier. Joe's an intense, high-energy player, right? And actually, he's been playing soccer for 13 years. So that experience comes from game after game. Hard head hit there, coming off of Reese Bauer. I give it to anyone that can take a booming kick like that and return it with your head. Loham, nice dribble over to Mosman. Mosman to Weaver. Using their formations well. Reed with a shot on goal, picked up by Brewer. He'll then take about a 50-yard kick. Working the sideline, we have Sweeney of Powell inside the penalty box, taken away by Callum Wheeler, who tries to keep it in bounds, not quite successful, tried to do a kickback. Also, fun fact, I learned earlier that, speaking of the girls' game, story time, if you weren't here for the girls' game, there was a score made off of a corner kick, which I learned today was called a banana shot. But back to the boys' game in front of us. Out on Powell. Kellen Donahue following it out. Weaver from the touchline. He'll read it out, tries to meet Reed. Puts his hands on his head. He knew he missed that one. Nice swipe away by Welsh. A swift kick, not quite reined in enough aim-wise. That ball will go back to a keeper kick from Brewer. I'll invite you to join us here on the halftime show. That's about 3 minutes away. A no-score game so far. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to stream this on, say, your TV or a monitor, feel free to check it out on our YouTube as well. There it has a little more high-quality video than as watching on Facebook. Joe Hellier on the heels there of Sweeney. once I talked to someone about something called the beautiful game, right? And I have to say, so far this season, Joe Hellier is one that you don't see him really get, I want to say, physically aggressive. He's very aggressive in trying to swipe the ball or take a tackle, but he plays the beautiful game in the sense of not having a whole lot in the way of penalties, even ones that maybe aren't caught, right? So there you go. Fun fact. Forward movement for the Powell Panthers. Past the 50. A drop back to Morris. Good control of the ball there. Change of pace and direction by Loham. A boot over to Donahue. Couldn't quite keep up with it. Seems as he didn't see Hobbs beside him as he was getting into the penalty box. Substitutions coming in. Looks like we'll have a sub. So will Lander coming in for the Panthers. Geller. I think it's Geller. And then also for the Tigers, McLean Hellier is back, giving Loham a chance to take a seat. Welsh with good forward work, even after he had to get up off the turf. Mosman having some trouble as he meets up with 3 defenders around him. Back to center field. In possession of Powell. Racing for the ball, Jesse Trotter. Looks like a block made there by Hamilton. That will be the horn for the first half of this match, folks. You're watching live video from Powell Panthers Stadium. We're going to be back with your halftime show here in just a minute. So far, the score 0-0, which is, I think, exactly what we can expect. The Tigers 2-1 and Powell 3-1. So we'll be back with your recap. We'll talk schedules. We'll talk statistics. All of that here on YOToday.com's live stream of Tigers soccer.
Tuesday through Thursdays, now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program. Welcome back here to Panthers Stadium. You're tuned in live at wyotoday.com, also live streaming on Facebook. Holy cow. Although the score is 0-0 here during this match, it's been an intense match in all senses of the word, okay? Very good defense by both teams. The keepers have been kept busy, to say the least, right? So before this match, Lander Tigers were sitting 2-1 overall and 2-0 in the 3A West. Had a win against Mountain View, came off a win of Lyman before that. Faced off against Jackson, but really that was, I guess, the only game close in intensity that I could compare this to. However, Powell sitting 3-1, doing a really great job with swipes. As soon as Lander gets possession of the ball, they're quick to get on their heels and try to get it back. But that goes for both teams, like I said. First 40 minutes are done. Both teams, energy-wise, still looking good. But, I mean, we're talking about kids that I did this survey of the team, and I can't see anyone on the – okay, I lied. Actually, Calvert, our keeper this year for the Lander Tigers, has only been playing for 1 year. Yeah, so fun fact. But all the other players that are on the field actually have been in this for 10-plus years. So good effort, lots of energy. Curious to see where the second half of play will take us. Penalties have been – a pretty, I don't know, I think maybe this is a higher rate of penalties. I'll have to look at the stats after the game, but definitely interesting to see where that's going to go. Some offsides by the Lander Tigers, so they'll have to keep an eye on that in the second half, but we'll do that with them. Some quick stats. I know we talked about this before the game. Since there were no scores yet, these haven't changed. Reed still at the top scoring rate for the Tigers. I couldn't find any stats posted for the Panthers. Otherwise, I would compare. Welsh second on the team. Weaver actually is, fourth on the team for scores. Quite a few assists, too. Donahue up there with assists as well. I'm getting these off maxpreps.com, by the way. But definitely curious to see how this goes. So anyway, I'll stop speculating, and we'll get into our next part of the halftime show here in just a sec. We'll talk our upcoming schedule right here on wyotoday.com. If you're just now joining, I'm Rusty, and you're hanging out here with Wyo Today Live.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
Hello! The spring forecast at Hello the House calls for heavy showers of savings the first 2 full weeks of April. Starting Monday, April 5th, and lasting through Saturday, the complete inventory will be 30% off. Breaking down further on prices, Monday, April 12th, for the week, everything store-wide is 50% off. Stop in soon to soak up the savings. These spring showers dry up and blow away after April 17th. Hello the House, 370 Main in Lander is open 11 till 5:30 weekdays and 10 till 4 on Saturdays. Looking to get back in the game this year? Avoid the rush by scheduling sports physicals now with Lander Medical Clinic. Sports physicals start after May 1st and are an important part of youth wellness exams. Preventative health took a backseat to COVID this past year, and Lander Medical Clinic wants to get teens back in the door for their wellness and sports physicals. Schedule your child's wellness and sports physical exam in May, June, or July by calling 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic.
I'm Sarah Penn. Go Tigers!
I'm Dr. Forbes. Go Tigers!
I'm Nate.
And I'm Billy.
Go Tigers!
Back here at Panthers Stadium. Welcome. I'm Rusty Wirtz. If you're just now joining us, we're at halftime, folks. In fact, let me fix our scoreboard here while I'm at it. The wind is blowing here, and I'm convinced that maybe it's not accurate on the National Weather Service. Not to, pick on them. However, I think it's a little faster than 9 miles per hour. We'll show the flag. Show them that wind. It's crazy. She's like, don't tell me how to use my camera. But it's blowing pretty good. And this time it'll actually be in the Tigers' favor. Whether or not that actually affects, well, that's coming to see yet. About 2 minutes left until we get back into play. It's high intensity out there. You can almost feel it from up here. You could cut it with a knife, I think is how they say that. I want to appreciate, real quick, Leanne Sanderson. I know you normally do this in the post-game show, but I want to appreciate you for coming and doing my camera work today. And folks, here's our upcoming schedule for the Lander Tigers. Tomorrow, they will actually face off against Cody. That'll be a home game. So we'll drive through there tonight and then see them tomorrow. They should have just carpooled. And that'll be, the boys will play at noon, girls at 10 tomorrow morning. We will also have the live call of that. Next Tuesday, Pinedale. We'll have an away game at Pinedale, followed by Warland next Thursday. So those will all be carried right here on wyotoday.com, and I can't wait to have you join along. All right, we're making our way back to the field with both teams. Like I said in the first half of play, pretty evenly matched skill-wise. No one's necessarily doing anything wrong, and however, they can't quite break through yet. It looks like there might be some of the girls watching from the bus. Looks like the Lander Tigers will be starting out. 4 defensive players. Oh, someone has a plastic horn. That's the thing. Oh, that was unexpected and kind of unpleasant, but we're here. We're here for it. Okay, 4 defenders, 4 Lander, 2 mids, and then rocking 4 forwards. Looks like Powell will be mimicking that same formation. Dropping back to Morris. Had a lot of ball time in the first half. Joe Hellier with a toss back to Loham. Hellier trying to box out. Over to Mosman. Callum Wheeler finding Nickel. Stamba of Powell. Almost too much bounce back there. Mosman went to stop the ball, and I think it went a little too far forward and got a swipe. However, back in the hands of Lander. Loham in the center circle. It's interesting for me to have an outspoken crowd today. So this is actually the first away game. And Lander is, I don't know, it's always been sunny and midday and everyone's relaxed. And here it sounds like a football game, and that's meant in the best way possible. But definitely a cool crowd. They have plastic horns after all. Weaver downfield, coming out to narrow the angles, is Brewer. Brewer with that booming kick all the way over to Calvert, who will meet him back. At that point, it's almost like a keeper challenge. Can you boot it back to me? Hellier on the far sideline. Tries to meet Weaver. Stopped, however, by Bauer. Choosing to boot it out of bounds, it's McLean Hellier. Nickel standing in front of Sweeney, who has the toss in. Up and over, trying to get inside this 6. Loham will follow it out. You know, it's been a trend in past games that Lander would sub out their keeper at halftime, and we didn't see that happen today. Nickel, a nice side swipe there. Doesn't keep it out of Powell's possession, though. They'll take it from the touch line, being thrown in by Stambaugh. Up and over the head of Welsh. He'll keep on the action. Nice change there by McLean Hellier. Callum Wheeler chasing it out of the goal line there. That'll make it a goal kick that it looks like is going to go to Loham. Loham will drive that near the 30. Callum Wheeler doing a great job there of keeping it in bounds. Fancy footwork on behalf of Mosman. Still in possession of Lander. Players on the sidelines are all bundled up, which also makes me think that the temperature listed on the National Weather Service might not be entirely true. I'm not calling you out, National Weather Service, I'm just saying. Keeper kick again, coming from Loham. Returning it with a head is Stambaugh. Reed gives it up to Nickel. Over to Welsh, loses it to Morris. Joe Wheeler has his speed about him that if the ball is open and it's in front of him, he's going to try to get there as fast as possible. Ball being brought back in by Joe Hellier. Keep in mind there are two brothers on the field. There's Joe Hellier and McLean Hellier. A drop back to Nickel. And then booted away by Stambaugh of Powell. Nice lateral pass by Callum Wheeler. With a nice attempt at a steal. That was Franks. Reed getting tripped up in Morris. Able to keep it in, back to Nickel. Reed deciding to take it in a little closer. Coming about 10 yards out to narrow those angles was Brewer. Also still in after the first half of play. That's a nice part about having a tall keeper. I'll tell you what, I don't have a height on Jonas Calvert, but that definitely worked in his favor. He did a great job of coming out. You have some upset parents. To be honest, I actually didn't have an eye on that, but some speculation from the crowd on whether or not Jonas Calvert came out of the box with that toss. back in the defensive third of Powell. And Nickel coming in from the touchline. Reed boots it back to Nickel. Keeps it in at the corner. A nice head hit there by Welsh. Couldn't quite get it done, though, and between those goalposts. Another one of those deep drives there by Ashton Brewer. Soft toss over to McLean Hellier. Booted over by Callum Wheeler. Soft pass over to Reed from Donahue. Lands just outside the penalty box. Meeting there is Donahue. Offsides marked just before the 20-yard line. Got to see who that's on. Now, I know we talked about it before, but I think one of the trickiest things in soccer is offsides. So, of course, the keeper is not considered a defender, but if someone is past the ball, now you can kick the ball past the last defender, but you cannot pass it to somebody who is beyond that last defender, if that makes sense. They can run to the ball, but the person themselves cannot be past him. Out on Lander. Bringing that back will be Geller, or Jeller. That's the one I did not hear earlier. Either way, cool last name. Coming out for the Panthers was Trotter, taking a break. Inside the 6, Callum will take a palm on that. Someone must have said, I'm assuming an opposing member of the Panthers team must have said, "Hey, watch your line, Calvert," and he pointed at it. He's like, "I was." Nice defensive control, and bouncing it off of Powell was McLean Hellier. Powell trying to decide who's going to sub in for Franks. That's going to result in Erickson joining the game again. Loham catching his breath back in the penalty box for the LVHS Tigers. The wind has changed direction a little. It's heading a little more west this time. Weaver getting that ball near the 30. Long pass results in Donahue gassing it to the wing. Over to Welsh. He couldn't quite get behind the ball. It was almost too high up for him to kick. It hit about mid-shin. Brewer with the keeper kick. One of the more precise kicks he's had. Met up with Sweeney just outside center circle. Calvert running forward for the ball. It gets out of his hands, but he happens to smother it just before the Panthers have a chance to score. Now, I don't have a name for number 12, but he was dangerously close to that keeper box. Nice boot by McLean Hellier. Dropping it back to gain control over to Loham. He'll do a lob to Reed. Callum Wheeler trying to go fetch that ball, but they call him off, say, hey, we can have one of the kiddos go grab it. Corner kick being brought in by Morris. Meets the head of Nickel. Reed and Nickel giving it as much speed as possible. Reed will boot it over, meeting Weaver, knowing that the edge of the field's open. That was one of those plays that you could see it playing out. But, you know, Powell has a really fast defense. Reed with a nice block there, coming up from getting off the turf. Nickel taking possession back. Weaver back to Welsh. Nice zigzag passes down the field. Toss in from the touchline. They came off of Joe Hellier. It's a race with Callum Wheeler, who's able to change direction just enough to get it over to McLean Hellier. A little bit of a collision there. Looked like Nickel might have met midair with Stambaugh. A nice shot on goal there by Weaver. Not quite there. Hit a palm of Brewer and then was deflected out of the way. Back into the game, we're going to see Jaden Elliott coming in for Parker Reed. And the back end for the Panthers is Chance Franks. Nice scooped pass there, coming off of Mosman. Brewer trying to get a feel for the field before he boots it. Definitely has some of the deepest drives I've seen. I think they're playing Marco Polo, trying to find where that last ball went. Nice kick from Loham. Pass to Elliott, who was quick to get it around Franks. Swipe by the Powell Panthers. I can't tell you something better than number 12. He's not on my roster. Soft toss from McLean Hellier over to Wheeler. Callum Wheeler getting ahead on it. And back to midfield. The wing ended up in a contest between Donahue and Morris. Donahue drops back to Welsh, misses, racing up to get it as McLean Hellier. He'll give it a boot. It'll go about 2 feet over those goalposts. 23 minutes left to go in this half of play. Score still 0-0. Driving deep there from the penalty box, we have Brewer. Callum Wheeler will take a tumble, getting back inside the defensive third of the Lander Valley Tigers. Nice change of direction there. Foul will be called. I think they're lining up for a penalty kick. It looks like that was just inside the box. Now, folks, if it's a penalty kick, it's because either hands or a trip. That kick by Morris went up and over the goalposts. Normally 2 ways you can deal with that. Well, only 2 ways. You can either try for a direct kick or go indirect, and he thought maybe he could hit the upper corner. Quick question for you. Do you know who number 12 is on the Powell team? He's not on my roster, so I figured I'd check. Checking out, folks. That's all right. Thank you, though. We tried. For now, folks, he is number 12. Running back in for the Tigers. Loham will take a seat. Hamilton will take his place. Back over to Elliott. Being chased down by Nickel. It's crazy because some of the passes and dribbles that you'll see going on here is almost at a full sprint. Morris sending it downfield back to Calvert. McLean Hillier changing direction, getting it back to Camden Nickel, sorry. McLean Hillier tried to get it back to Callum Wheeler. Instead, it's going inside of the 18, kicked out by Hamilton. Ooh-wee. We have ourselves a soccer match, folks. Although it's a scoreless match so far, definitely one of the most high-intensity ones I've had the privilege of watching so far. Coming in with the corner kick after it went out of the end line, we have Morris. Nice curve on the ball after it got in the air. Kicked away by McLean Hillier. Good defensive measure. Ends up back with Bauer. Sam Bauer trying to get it away from Weaver. Weaver with a nice kick, making it into the penalty box of the Panthers. However, that'll be picked up by Brewer. The tough part about something like that is you have to have someone to meet you there, and Brewer is quite fast. The crowd is looking for a foul to be called on Welsh. He'll try to explain himself to the ref. I believe that was against Morris. Oh, there's a conflict with someone in the crowd. Enough so where someone from just down the hall from us is going to try to get his attention. The way I look at it, folks, is sometimes, I might think something is called a certain way, and the point is I am not the one down there wearing the blue jersey that says ref. Also, they can run a lot faster and farther than I can, so we'll just call them the professionals. Elliott on the sideline. Trips himself up a little bit, almost going too fast for his feet. He does a great job of weaving in and out of the defensive line of the Panthers. Hillier keeping up pressure on top of Morris. He ends up getting the swipe away and then swiped away again. Welsh with a drop back, kicked by Callum Wheeler and deflected. It looks like that might have been a face shot. Whistles are going to blow real quick. The ref's checking on him. That was a block by Sam Bauer. He's getting some applause from the crowd. A little rough to keep going after that, but you got to give him a round of applause for working through it. Weaver gets ahead at the sideline. Back into the center circle with Panthers Erickson. Almost toppling over was Stambaugh. Callum Wheeler returns with a head. Back to Franks. Morris danced around the center circle. Might have been a hand on that ball. Free kick coming out. Morris trying to get it as close to the goal as possible, almost too far. It was almost lateral with the goal as it bounced out. Coming in for the Tigers, Loham replacing Callum Wheeler. Very high energy player. Goal kick from Loham, meeting up with Weaver just before midfield. A bounce inside of the penalty box, but no one from the Panthers there to meet up with it. Could be a missed opportunity there. That goal kick going to be brought out by Loham. Pretty sizable crowd here at the stadium tonight. We're in Panthers Stadium, located on Panthers Drive, by the way. My weather app on my phone says it's 53 degrees and only 9-mile-per-hour wind, but the blankets and the blowing flag and ponytails outside beg to differ. Oh, a nice shot there, going through the legs of several Panthers, making its way to Welsh, taken back over by Morris. Franks speedily moving his way, stopped then by McLean Hellier. Makes sense for it to be a high-pressure game because it was a highly anticipated game. Looks like there might be a Tiger on the turf. It looks like there might be waving for the assistant coach and athletic trainer. And I think they're also going to stop the clock on this one. You know, it's tough, too, with kind of cooler conditions outside. It's not the coldest game I think we've played this season, but definitely can be tough. I want to invite you to join us for the post-game show. We'll recap scores if there is a score this match. I'm not saying there couldn't be. There's some high-intensity play going on between the Tigers and the Panthers. Standing up and making his way off the field, we have Mosman, which I can appreciate. The opposing team even giving him a nice round of applause. And the opposing crowd, mind you. They might have the plastic horns, but they're still polite. kind of want to hear him use it again one more time, though. This time I would expect it and not be afraid. Hats off to Mosman there. Play will resume. The ref drops the ball, and Loham will take a foot to the ball. Weaver trying to jump and change the direction of the ball. Might have hit too far down on the arm. It'll be a free kick for the Panthers. Morris trying to meet up with his fellow teammates. Looks like he was trying to get to Erickson, but Welsh would stop that. Also, it looks like subbed in for Mosman is Otis Beeson. You'll notice him wearing number 1 on the field. 12 minutes and 43 seconds left in this game. A nice jumping catch there by Brewer. Have to give credit where credit's due. It was a good hustle chasing down that ball by the Panthers' Reese Bauer. He couldn't quite reach it, though, as it passed that goal line, which gives Loham the goal kick inside of the penalty box. Over to Joe Wheeler. He'll meet up with Nickel. Brought back in by Erickson. They've had a similar scenario a couple times, and it's interesting to see how they're trying to adjust to it. Is the ball will bounce in front of the Landers' goal, and there's not someone on the opposite side of the ball to bring it back. But it must have hit a Tiger, because now it looks like a corner kick for the Panthers. Powell 3-1 in the season. Tigers 2-1 overall and 2-0 in the 3A West. Calvert quick to the ball. Just when you think these boys cannot run any faster, they just keep amping up the intensity. A swipe there by Weaver, sending the ball out of bounds. You know, so far an interesting season for the Lander Tigers. Their first game was against Jackson Hole. They took a loss that day, 5-2 against Jackson. And then Lyman was the next game, and they won that 15-0. Following that, they faced Mountain View. These were all home games, and 12-0 was the conclusion of that as well. A tackle there by Weaver against Morris. Morris shakes it off and gets up. Reed working the feet through the legs of Panthers Sweeney. Beeson sending it back. Control again by McLean Hellier, and back to Reed. Reed tries to make it over to Elliott, couldn't quite get far enough through, and gets a foot on it from Stambaugh. A little bit of a collision there between Reed and Stambaugh. Both came up. Callum Wheeler going in for Hamilton. And then back in is Donahue for Elliott. Reed tries to drop back. Couldn't quite meet Nickel. Subbing in for the Panthers, Powell sends in Jesse Trotter. Morris weaves around the ref and drops back to Stambaugh. He'll find it along the sideline, tries to keep it in. He does a sweep and almost tackles against his own trotter. And inside, oh my goodness, the Lander Tigers just gave up their first point of the ball game. Shooting that was for the Panthers, Sam Bauer. I wanted to make sure I had the right brother on that one. I'm sure, as you can tell by the plastic horn, that it was for the Powell Panthers. With 8 minutes and 19 seconds left to go. This is a little intense. With 8 minutes and 16 seconds left to go, it is now Panthers 1, Tigers 0. That goal had great placement. It was in the bottom left corner. Was just able to sneak it past Calvert. So far, the Tigers have done a pretty good job of clearing the goal up until that point. Someone lost something on the field. Was it a headband? Callum Wheeler will go grab it. Whatever it was, it's safely inside his sock. Weaver will hit the turf. Coming after it is Morris. A midfield boot there from Hamilton. They'll return right back out and onto the sideline. Hamilton screaming to his team. Says, get open. Morris will fight over the ball. That was against Nickel. They will pretzel together, Nickel and Franks. Nickel put his hands up, explaining himself to the ref. Some folks on the home team's benches a little unhappy with no call being placed. I stick with my original comment. Oh my goodness. That was a booming shot there. I'll call that a booming shot on goal by Morris. And thankfully for Calvert, that was about 2 feet over the net. With the goal kick, Loham sets up. A soft pass over to Joe Hellier. It's becoming a head game. Some back and forth between the Tigers and the Panthers. The thing about this game is it's mostly taking place in close contact. There's not a whole lot of elbow room. Callum Wheeler waiting for it at the 30. Morris with a lob over, caught by Calvert. I think he was trying to throw it a little closer to the sideline, but maybe not that close. Looks like there might have been some heads knocking between Wheeler and Trotter. Don't think it was hard enough to do too much harm. A jumping lob there by Stambaugh gets the ball about to the 30. Reed with the swipe away. Almost accidentally swipes it away from his own teammate as Weaver comes in. Throw in by Hellier. Weaver with a lob making its way to Beeson. Toss from Hamilton. Meets the head of Stambaugh. trip there. Results in a free kick. This free kick taken out by Garrett Morris. Calvert tried to get the ball. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get there, but it did go past the end line. You would much rather have something happen over there. Seemed like, I don't know, the audience got really excited, and it those things just happen, you know? But, like I said, with high-intensity games, all parties involved can get a little amped up. Corner kick. Tries to make its way to the center of the penalty box. Couldn't quite get there. A nice deflection there. That was Otis Beeson. Loham struggling with the ball. Ends up straddled on the turf. Panthers Morris sets up to bring in the kick. This penalty kick looks like up front to block. We have Reed, Welsh, and Loham. It's a lob to the center. Smacking it away is Calvert. Quick to get it out of there. And to Loham, making its way to the center circle. Pass that went too far. Pass Donahue. Gets kicked out by the Powell Panthers. Erickson is the last one to have a foot on it. Brewer's more the type of keeper that comes out to snatch the ball. He's not even necessarily, I guess, narrowing the angles. He just goes straight for the ball rather than to possibly block. A bouncing ball has the advantage when your keeper is Calvert. Well, now I'm curious. I need to see how tall he is. Parents, help me out here. Morris with the change of direction. Lander's still looking to get their first score of this match with only a minute left to go. Racing for it. Calvert's able to get a hand on it. Quick to roll the ball over to Wheeler. Can they tie this match? Drops back to Loham. Nice side swipe there from Hamilton. Nickel still getting it past two opposing players of the Panthers team. Reed almost swipes it away from Nickel. Wheeler up and over to Welsh. Fielded now by Erickson. Wheeler rushes forward. Whistles blue. Taking a deep kick with the clock still ticking, only 14 seconds left. Loham making it to the 20-yard line of the Panther side of the field. Getting tripped up was Hamilton. The time ticks down, and the Lander Tigers fall this match to the Powell Panthers. Final score, 1-0 here at Powell Panthers Stadium. We'll come back with your post-game show here in just a sec. We'll recap the score and some of the key points to the game. That'll hear on WyoToday.com with this live broadcast of Lander Tigers Soccer.
Central Wyoming College has the perfect degree to help you learn, grow, advance, and lead. The new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management and Leadership is the perfect degree to earn during a pandemic. There's 3 ways to learn: online learning, virtual learning, and in-person learning. Whether you have some credits or no credits, you can earn a bachelor's degree at CWC and have the competitive edge for employment. Go to www.cwc.edu/leadtheway.
Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's
truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for two, Tuesday through Thursdays, now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
And we're back here at Panthers Stadium here in beautiful Powell, Wyoming. You know, it's got its own charm. I like Powell. It's a fun place, but definitely a little bit of a downer for the Tigers at the end of this match. It was very even keel up until the very end. 8 minutes left to go, and then coming in from the Powell team, Sam Bauer with the first score of the game. And it was close. He was just underneath Jonas Calvert, the keeper of Lander. Whew, that's it's one of those, I think, learning curves, because they were so, in my opinion, which, take it for what it's worth, equally matched, right? They come into this game, Powell was 3-1, and the Tigers were 2-1. So definitely skill-wise, pretty darn close. So it'll be interesting to see in the match tomorrow how Lander chooses to take on Cody, and we can't wait to be there with them as well. So that'll begin. Let's see, the boys start at noon, girls start at 10. We will be there for both varsity games right here live on WyoToday.com. Today's player of the game. Oof, this is a tough one. You know what? I have to give it to him. So many saves, played the entire game in the same spot, and normally with this team, for the boys team, the keeper gets subbed out at halftime. So naturally, with the saves, with the amazing plays that he was able to put forth, I'm going to give it to a one-year soccer player, Jonas Calvert, number 34 for the Lander Valley Tigers. I want to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. I want to thank our general manager, Eric Polly, for letting me cover soccer. It's kind of cool. We're doing a thing. First soccer to be covered with HD video in Fremont County. Oh, the things that video broadcasts can see. We're moving on, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic night.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, car, or business, you can count on Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. You deserve a local agent who is dedicated to helping you with all of your insurance needs. And that's what you'll get with Jake Hunke, your local Farm Bureau agent. Jake Hunke offers the quality products and services you're looking for. Visit his new location at 450 Main Street in Lander or call 307-332-3295 and discover the advantages of working with a local agent. Trust experience. Trust Farm Bureau.
In any sport, athletes face the chance of sustaining an injury. According to the Athletic Training Association, 90% of student athletes reported some sort of sports-related injury. What's more, is 54% report playing while injured. For various reasons, sports-related injuries are increasingly leaving our youth at risk of exposure to opioid-based pain medication. Fremont WhenTheGameSlowsDown.com is here to help navigate monitoring medication, social support, and suggestions on what to do when the game slows down. Brought to you by Fremont County Prevention Program.